I got a question for you. If you needed your vehicle fixed, would you take your car, truck, whatever you drive to someone who had no idea how to fix it? If you're out of shape and you're looking for a personal trainer, would you hire someone who was fat, sloppy, out of shape, didn't show up half the time, had no discipline? Would you hire that person to show you how to pull yourself out of that rut? How about if you were sick, desperately sick, and you needed help? Would you go to somebody who merely watched Grey's Anatomy? All these are stupid questions. They're dumb questions because obviously, if and when you have a problem, you seek out somebody who's going to get you the best solution for whatever it is that you can afford. When I came into this space, it was because I was dealing with my own personal demons. And in trying to gather information, trying to find all the data points of how and why the things kept going on, I sifted through a lot of information. And in doing so, there are a lot of guys who made content that I watched some of their stuff. But as I took accountability, as I took responsibility for the life that I had created for myself, I came to see a lot of the narratives that were initially attractive were actually they were another prison. They were another cope. It was another escape. It was basically excusing my bad behavior and putting it on a very easy target. I tried to not make this channel about drama, but for whatever reason, the algo, whatever, powers that be, or maybe simply my message just doesn't have the resonance that I think that it should. It's been a long, hard fight. And the only time that I seem to get a boost is when I go after these frauds. And so today we're gonna do a little clout chasing, but we're gonna do a lot of truth telling. And we're gonna go back and revisit some of the topics that I've touched in the past, and that is two of the biggest clowns, but one of the biggest factions of clowns, a factory of clowns, and that has to do with Rollo Tomasi and Donovan Sharp in particular right now. This video has been coming for the past couple of weeks because I don't know why YouTube thinks that I want to see anything that has to do with either one of these guys, but Abba and Preach made a video just poking out some of the idiocracy of Donovan Sharp's message and this facade that he paints for the seals that make up his subscriber base. And in this particular video, I witnessed some of the cringiest shit. And in watching Donovan try to explain to his viewers, his followers, his disciples, how to train your wife, I saw a pathetic display of just douchebaggery on both sides, hers as well. I looked at that, and after I got my stomach to settle, I started to wonder what kind of person, what kind of male sits through that type of bullshit and then armors himself up and goes out in the world and says, this is how I'm moving, this is how I roll. The only type of people that I can envision are losers like Sharp. When Anthony Johnson went after him, it was around the same timeline that I was pointing out some of the things that I noticed about this dude and several others. And in dealing with that, I have to say he took it like a champ because he fielded a lot of reality checks. But this recreation where he's chosen to put Cynthia, or whatever her name is, in the videos and do these skits and have her input after desperately trying to keep her in that situation secret from everyone, so he could keep this image that he was building, this fraud that he was selling. This new creation you would think would make anybody that was left sit back and go, dude, this dude is absolutely full of shit, and bounce. But yet there's still masses who get in his comments and tell him how, you know, how dope he is, and it's a little bit sad that there's that many males in the population, even if it's on the planet, that waste their time listening to that horse shit. But probably even worse than Donovan is Rollo. Rollo Tomasi likes to jerk himself off on camera, pat himself on the back, and pretend as if he's some integral part of what's moving men in a direction. And he's right. He's absolutely right. He is an integral part at moving men in the direction of becoming bitches like himself. Because the whole ideology blaming things on hypergamy and giving men all these convenient, just plausible deniability bullet points to escape the reality that you're probably made out of a bitch and you got exactly what you asked for. You got exactly what you wanted. You got exactly what you deserved. And that's really hard to deal with. It's hard to accept that. But not until you accept your reality as a man will you become one. Because you can look back and blame everything and everybody that you want to, but it's still on you. At the end of the day, it's still on you. And so when you've got a clown who has never played in the game, never been a part of the game, no matter what bullshit fantasies he sells about his rock star 20s, rock stars are actually people that are in bands that are famous. Playing at a local pub, dealing with the local town groupies doesn't make one a star. I've known hundreds of dudes who did that living in Austin. None of them would say they were rock stars. They were musicians. They were starving artists. But in Rollo's world, where he's got a whole population of SEALs listening to him like he's some godfather of game and knowledge, that's like hiring a fat personal trainer that tells you how they used to be in shape. But in this case, Rollo's never been in shape. He's never been in shape, because had he really done that, had he really moved that way, he would have put the ring on somebody that proved his words to be true. Now, I'm not one to attack one's wife. I'm not going to do any of that shit. But if you're a rock star, generally the woman that you marry is an indication of that stardom. And so I think it's probably fair to say that that's a pretty equal playing field there. In this case, it fits. It's very accurate. So you can see how much of a star the dude really was. But this isn't a personal attack on Rollo's household or any of that shit. I'm not that petty. What the problem is I'm here to help men. I'm here to help men and help young boys navigate this world that we're going through, this new sickness that we have. But the issue is that men aren't men anymore. Taking on hard things and shouldering the burden, fighting through adversity, seeking adversity to make oneself better. Those aren't attributes that are natural to men. Now you need dudes like David Goggins and Jocko Willink to tell you to do that. Or you succumb to losers, pussies like Rollo and Donovan, Richard Cooper whining in his car about the single moms that have played him, or all the fresh and fit bringing the bobblehead dummies on their show to berate them. You can choose to seek out all the information that you want, but at the end of the day, you have to actually pull the trigger. You have to actually do something. You actually have to move toward becoming the man that you want to become. But see, that's not the message. That's not the real desire that these major red-pilled losers want you to buy into. They'll sprinkle it in there because it's a popular narrative. It's what men, it's what boys want in their soul. They want a purpose. They want to become better. But when you're told to spin plates and do this and get the money and put yourself in a position that makes you a target, there's no real self-improvement there. You just make yourself a better target. What these feminine men want you to do is continue to tune into their 3-4 hour live streams, send in those super chats, buy the book, buy the program, listen to their bullshit, buy into the ideology. And what they're doing is they're replacing the addiction that you had to your mommy that you were dating that pulled your heart out. Many men and boys need to deal with the reality of the effect their mother had in their lives. A lot of times, if you don't have a strong male in your world, if you don't have a man that shows you how a man moves, you become a grown little boy. You're emotional. You're just like your mother made you, because that's how she needed you to be. That's how she wanted your father to be. But he bailed. Whether it be his job or X field completely, he wasn't there. And so a lot of people tune in to these fabricated creations. Rolo thinks you put a beanie on, an American fighter hat, and talk tough to the camera and ask Abba and Preach to come on his chin. And that's alpha. Ooh, you better watch who you're coming at. Wait till my big brother Donovan comes. Wait till he comes. Ooh, when he gets off the bus. These are manosphere dudes. If somebody came into the manosphere space, let's just say because of the Andrew Tate situation, what is this manosphere? And they dive into this world, they don't find a place where there's strong men trying to lead men to become strong. You see a bunch of bobbleheads around a table being hoes and some clowns yelling at them, preaching the Rolo ideology to them. Or you see Rolo and his band of goons on their little live streams patting each other off, jerking each other off, and reinforcing their cognitive bias. Or you got Donovan Sharp in his extra medium shirt with his titties hanging out, with his live role play with his wife. You've got all of these different red pill losers, or all the pill poppers. They're just different factions of losers who, instead of investing this time in their lives to actually become something, become a man worthy of the thing that they want, they tune into these long live streams and circle jerk one another with their misery. And they talk about the other faction. Oh, those guys over there. Oh, these guys over here. They feel like they're roasting somebody by sitting there like they're in a circle around a junior high lunch table. These are men. These are what the men are today. I don't claim to have all the answers, and I don't claim to be the prototype. I don't have a program. I'm not saying that I know the way. But I know one thing's for double damn sure. Following these pussies, Rolo, Donovan, tuning into this bullshit, that ain't the way. The manosphere has become a shithole. The red pill is now being taken by women. Girls like Pearly Things and the other red pill channels that are speaking from that book make it really no longer necessary for men to do it. The women have it. And if you want women to change, and that's what they say needs to happen, they're not going to listen to men. Men talking to men about this isn't going to do anything. Let the women do it. The manosphere needs to be about becoming men, not males. Being a male is a matter of birth. Being a man is a matter of choice. Make the right choice. Make a smarter decision with how and where you spend the most valuable thing that you have on this earth, and that's your time.